We're not live, so.
That was better. I don't know. It's so on and off.
Okay. Well, we'll probably just ride with it. Last game of the week, anyway.
Okay.
For us, at least.
You want to unplug it and plug it back in real quick?
It's not. Well, I can turn it off and on.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Give me a
I
sec.
don't know what it is.
Give me a second. Check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah, it's better.
Okay.
Yeah, weird.
We're about to go live, also.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're usually on like a minute or like 30-second delay.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2023 Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown, the largest international curling event in Canada this season. We're so glad you decided to join us to watch some of the top teams from around the world participate in this event. My name is Jesse Hamonic, and I'm the Vice President and Country Head of Nutrien Ag Solutions Canada. Like farming, curling brings our communities together, and Nutrien Ag Solutions is committed to promoting the diversity of sport within the communities where we work and live. We're so grateful to the Western Showdown team for allowing us to partner with them to bring you this event, and I want to wish you all, the teams, a safe and successful event.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2023 Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Curling Showdown. We're so glad you've decided to join us to come see some of the world's best curlers participate in this event. My name is Jim Grundy. I'm the branch director for RBC Dominion Securities here in Swift Current. Our branch is not only a huge fan and support of curling in our community, we're also proud to support the 2023 Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Curling Showdown, as RBC is committed to working with our community to promote and celebrate vibrancy in sport in the community in which we live. Thank you to everyone on the organizing committee for putting this great event together. And on behalf of RBC Dominion Securities, enjoy the tournament.
Saskatchewan, you know SaskTel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With SaskTel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. SaskTel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sastel.com/sponsorships.
Good afternoon and welcome inside the Innovation Credit Union iFlex in Swift Current, Saskatchewan. You're watching the World Curling Tour on curlingzone.com and the semi-final draw of the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown. Today's feature game is between Korey Dropkin of Duluth, Minnesota, taking on Yannick Schwaller of Geneve, Switzerland. I'm Josh Uzek alongside my broadcast partner James Owens. And we have a highly contested semifinal matchup about to be brought to you here. Yannick Schwaller will take hammer in the first end by virtue of being the higher seeded team. Both these teams came out of the C event. But by virtue of seeding, not only did Korey Dropkin need to win one more game to get here, but Yannick Schwaller will keep hammer in the semi-final game because of it.
Should be a great game today. Lots of talent on both sides.
I'm excited. These are two teams that have really come into the spotlight in the last couple of years. Excited to see how this one plays out. Familiar with each other. Both these teams are on the Grand Slam of curling regularly. We'll let a couple rocks come down before we meet the teams fully. This is Mark Fenner, the second from this team out of Duluth, Minnesota. We have 4 games on the ice today for this 12:30 local draw. 2 semifinals on the men's side and 2 semifinals on the women's side. And it's an international affair on both sides. Only one Canadian team remains on both sides of the draw. 6 teams still playing in this event are from outside of Canada, including the 2 in our feature sheet here. This is Sven Michel, widely known as a longtime member of Team De Cruz, alongside Benoit Schwarz. Pretty simple end to begin, besides that high center guard there, just off the center, I guess. Teams are content to play a bit of a hitting game here, feel out the ice, warm it up a bit, and get things under their feet before they start playing with lots of rocks in play. While things are going quite slow, we might as well meet the teams. The team from Geneva, Switzerland is Yannick Schwaller. Their lead is Pablo Lachat. Their second is Sven Michel. Throwing third rocks and skipping the team is Yannick Schwaller. And throwing the fourth stone is Benoit Schwartz. They are currently ranked number 5 in the World Curling Tour rankings and are the top-ranked team in the country of Switzerland right now. On the opposing side, throwing the yellow rocks, is Korey Dropkin out of Duluth, Minnesota. Their lead is Thomas Howell. Second, Mark Fenner. Third and skipping the game is Andrew Stapera. And throwing the fourth rock is, of course, Korey Dropkin. They are currently ranked number 12 in the world and are the top-ranked team in the United States of America. This is now Korey Dropkin stepping into the house and holding the broom for Andrew Stapera's first of the opening end.
I think Korey Dropkin would really love to win this event. Hopefully he has a great game today, and if he gets in later tonight, can win one out there. And with the amount of points he'd round up, he'd squeeze his way into the top 10 in the world rankings.
Yeah, he sort of gained a reputation for being a bit of a hot and cold team. He'll have some great weekends where he'll knock off some really great teams and then have some down weekends where he maybe won't perform as well as you might expect from the top-ranked team in a country like the U.S. Korey Dropkin will make the hit and roll right out. And Yannick Schwaller will elect to peel the singular guard out in front. And we're headed towards a blank, folks, no doubt. This Dropkin team has pulled off some big wins this week, though, so far. Took down Kevin Cooey in the C event, 5-4. That took an extra end to do it. And we're winners over Steve Laycock last night in the quarterfinals. That was a 7-4 finish, which landed him his spot in the semifinal against the Swiss rink of Yannick Schwaller today. Like we said, 4 games on the ice, 2 men's, 2 women's as we hit the semifinals in this event. We'll take a look around the rings at the fourth end break and update you on scores. For right now, we'll let you know who's playing. Michael Brenner of Bern, Switzerland, is taking on Mike McEwen of Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. Over in the other semifinal on the men's side, Mike McEwen, the lone Saskatchewan team left in the event. Stepping over to the women's side, it's Satsuki Fujisawa taking on Jolene Campbell in a semifinal on the women's side. Jolene Campbell, the lone Canadian women's team left in this event. And the final semifinal on the ice today is Eunjung Kim of South Korea taking on Isabella Rana of Sundbyberg, Sweden. The winner of the 2 women's games will advance to play in the finals later today. We thank you for joining us on this Sunday afternoon. If you're watching us on YouTube, feel free to say hi in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from. This is Korey Dropkin's first rock of the opening end here. 175 fans watching us on YouTube through Curling Zone.
Wide open end here. Not really surprised. Both these teams taking it easy in the first end to get used to the ice. Going to build up for a big game ahead of us.
But we're sure we'll see no lack of action in this one. Both these teams have had very offensive weeks. The Schwaller team in particular, averaging just under 9 points a game so far in this event. Dropkin team also just under 9 points a game. Difference between them is Yannick Schwaller is also allowing a lot of points a game, just under 8 points a game at 7.95. This will be Korey Dropkin's last of the first end to hit and stick here. Hello to Lisa Shepard in Oliver, BC. Thanks for saying hi and thanks for watching us live on Curling Zone's YouTube channel. Happy to bring you this semifinal matchup from Swift Current. And Benoit Schwartz will have the chance to peel this lone counter out and get away in the first end here with a blank. Here it is, last rock first end. Benoit Schwartz of the team out of Geneva. And he'll make that no problem. Put a blank up on the board, we'll stay scoreless going into the second end. The Schwaller team will retain hammer as we continue in this semifinal game.
Light up your love for curling with our customizable neon LED lights from Letterlands. Choose your new neon mixed doubles partner or make a statement with a neon curling rock in your window. Also actual Letterlands. Use discount code WHOA for 15% off. Only at Letterlands.com.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Swift Current is great because everybody that we do business with, we know on some sort of personal level.
What I love about Swift Current is the vibrant arts and culture community.
I really like Swift Current. We are not a big city, but the size of the city is really good and we have everything.
Swift Current is a great sports town, great teams and great fans.
People say, good morning, hi, how are you, even though we don't know each other.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Welcome back inside the Swift Current Curling Club at the iPlex in beautiful Swift Current, Saskatchewan. You're watching the World Curling Tour on curlingzone.com. And the second end between Korey Dropkin and Yannick Schwaller. A blank was put up on the board in the first. Not much to talk about there. Pretty open end. There was a singular guard. But nothing that these teams couldn't hit around. And Schwaller will retain the hammer as we start the second. I'm going to say hello to Joanne, catching this game from Fairbanks, Alaska. viewers from all across the globe watching this game on Curling Zone. If you're watching it on YouTube, feel free to step into the live chat, say hi, let us know where you're watching this game from, and let us know who you're cheering for in this one. Teams are playing for a lot in this semifinal matchup. Of course, a berth in the final. And the chance to stay alive to be named 2023 Western Showdown champion. This is Pablo Lashaw, the lead for the Schwaller rink. He'll make the hit here, roll off to the outturn side. Maybe he came close to nibbling that 12-foot. I'm not sure if he did. Andrew Stopera, He's going to take a close look at it.
Yeah, both of Lashaw's rocks just coming a little bit heavy. I know in his first one, they just wanted the corner guard. He came just barely touch the rings. So they're getting a little behind in the second end here, but hopefully they can turn it around.
Looks like Stopera believes that this one is on the ring, so he's going to try to hit it here. Trying to roll undercover as well, maybe usable as a second corner guard. It's going to fall into the 12-foot. Lined up perfectly for the Dropkin team, but Schwaller will take no time calling the peel here. Probably get rid of two. This is Sven Michel. He's throwing an outturn at this one. He's got one, he's got two, and he's going to roll his red over to a corner guard. Beautiful shot by Sven Michel.
Well, looks like we're going to have another clean end here.
Yeah, these teams still content to fill each other out a bit. This is Mark Fenner of this team out of Duluth, Minnesota. Touch wide, maybe. He's going to catch just enough of that red. Peel it out. And we've got a open sheet of ice again. And Michel is going to change to throwing the corner guard here on the opposite side, throwing the intern now.
Not sure if you caught that, Josh. Benoit Schwartz ran across the sheet right in front of Sven Michel during his backswing, and a little bit of a balk if you know the baseball term, but had to reset in the hack there.
Well, he did have the chance to reset and throws a solid corner guard. I don't think that there's going to be much deliberation on this. Korey Dropkin's going to be content to peel it. Stopera in the hack, throwing third rocks and calling the game for this Korey Dropkin ring. He goes out. He's going to make contact and spill it out of play.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch on this. Schwaller team has been really dominant all week. I know the stats for this event don't really reflect it, but in the games that I've watched, they've really been in control almost the entire game. And there's just a couple shots that the other team makes or that they miss that really change the whole complexion and make it seem a lot tighter than it is. But for the most part, this Swiss team has been very dominant.
They're patient, and in this brand of curling, you see today it really pays off at the high levels.
Yeah, and constructing this almost super Swiss team, bringing together Yannick Schwaller and Benoit Schwartz, both of them were amazing in the juniors, both getting to Worlds and medaling there. And Benoit Schwartz, when he played for Peter de Cruz, ended up rounding up 5 bronzes at the Worlds. And their front end, Sven Michel, is, along with Lashot, they're very, very experienced, very knowledgeable front end. And the whole team is very well-rounded, and they'll be looking for a good run at a World Championship this year.
Yeah, hoping to take that next step at that World Championship. When you curl out of a European nation and you're the top team solidified, you tend to get a lot of shots at that world title. And this Swiss team has been one that hasn't been able to quite grasp that trophy yet. And no doubt that Schwaller rank thinks that they're the one that can finally break through and end that streak of Nicholas Adine. Ton of other teams at that World Championship that will have something to say about that.
Yeah, and it's not the easiest route for the Schwaller team either. They still have to compete. There's another one major team, Michael Brunner, Schwaller's old team, I should say, that he left when he came to play with Benoit Schwartz. But they are very close to this team, but I think this team just has a little bit of an edge right now.
Don't forget Marco Hosley.
Very true, very true.
A lot of great curlers coming out of the country of Switzerland right now. As Korey Dropkin heads down the sheet to throw his first.
This team also hoping to get to a World Championship, Korey Dropkin. You know, Korey got a lot of great world experience last year at the mixed doubles. I believe he won gold there back in the spring. Himself, he's a world junior silver medalist, and this team's really hungry to get past Schuster this year and wear the red, white, and blue at the Worlds.
That's true. Korey Dropkin, originally born just outside of Boston, Massachusetts. Now curling out of Minnesota, where the majority of high-level curlers in the United States curl out of. We got a couple watchers from Fairbanks, Alaska. Sherry from Denver, hello. Teresa, watching from Montana. Glad to have you guys here. No doubt all those American fans are cheering for the Dropkin rink.
Little bit of curling trivia here, Josh. Do you know which team Korey Dropkin lost to in the junior final?
Give me a year.
2016.
2016. That wouldn't have been Oscar Eriksson. That's a little too late for him. Was it Yannick Schwaller?
No. Bruce Mowat.
Ah, he's a little younger.
Schwaller was 2014.
2014. Can't say I watched those World Junior Finals. I was a little young at that time. But glad
they
to be
didn't
watching
quite have the same streaming services back then as they do now.
No doubt, no doubt. Incredibly grateful for the coverage that Curling Stadium has brought to us the last number of years. And it's because of Curling Stadium that you can watch every game of every draw here at the Western Showdown. 3 other games on the ice right now. If you've got a couple screens open, you can have a little NFL Red Zone curling version if you'd like. Benoit Schwartz, last in the second inning, coming up here. Looking for the second straight blank in this semifinal matchup. LaShaw on the sweep. Looks pretty good. And we'll put another blank up on the board. Goose eggs on the board remain as we head to the third end. The team.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Well, what do y'all think? Too blue? Not blue enough? Try this.
Makes your eyes pop.
This could be our best yield yet. And didn't we get this seed at a great financing rate?
Yeah, we did.
Iced tea? Great idea. let's talk more about next year. I got some thoughts.
And I've got some numbers.
Nutrien Financial, financing that's in the field with you.
SaskTel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? SaskTel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
Welcome back to Swift Current Saskatchewan. You're watching the World Curling Tour on curlingzone.com. Josh Usick alongside my broadcast partner James Owens. We put up a couple blank ends in the first two. Nothing too much to speak of. And the fans in the chat seem to be a little bit restless. Sherry from Denver, Colorado says, blank ends are boring, lol. I agree, Sherry. Let's see some action here. But a center guard from the Korey Dropkin team and the team from Geneva will try and come right around it. Sit about 3/4 in the 8th foot there. Yannick Schwaller was a semifinalist at the Grand Slam of Curling National this year. That event was in Pictou County, Nova Scotia, and it was won by Joel Ritornaz, I do believe, of Italy, who is not here this weekend. Yet the women's Italian national team of Stefania Constantini is. Yannick Schwaller does not have a Grand Slam title under his belt. He has one final appearance from last season when he dropped the Players' Championship to Kevin Cooey in Toronto. Looks like we're going to see a little more action here.
Yeah, a little miscue there from the Dropkin rank. I think they were trying to come around even top 4, and maybe that path just wasn't warmed up enough, or they had a misread in the ice, but it's well light of where they wanted that one.
And dropped it a little light, and now Pablo Lasha has a chance to get in here and sit 2. Schwaller's going to come in and take this all the way back to the back 12. A little heavy and a good audible to take that as far back as you can.
Both teams missing the mark there on that same shot.
Yeah, just in different ways. This is Mark Fenner in the hack now, the second for this Minnesota-based team. Looking to make some action go. If you can make contact with that top red, there's a good chance you can make something good happen in the back of the rings.
Yeah, making some noise early.
We'll see. I'm not predicting a blank this end. It's not out of the question yet, of course, but we'll see how it turns out.
I think with both these teams, a blank end can come out of nowhere.
That's true. Especially with Benoit Schwartz throwing the 4th stone. He can definitely throw some lasers. This one's coming tight to this yellow top guard, and he's going to nick it and roll both of them out of play. Tough couple misses from the Dropkin team here, and it's really opened the door for Schwaller to start building up some counters. Looked at possibly splitting that top red and spreading out the rocks in the house a bit. We'll see what he ultimately decides on. Seems to want to keep some more play out to the wings than there currently is right now.
Yeah, pretty lucky break for Schwaller, getting that miss out of the Dropkin team, and chance to sit 3 in the third end after a couple blanks is really nice.
Yeah, and the big thing about misses, they don't happen often at this level, but when they do, you need to capitalize on them. You can't let that slip through your fingers. Just hoping to get out to the wing here, I believe.
Pounding this one the whole way down.
It's Pablo Lashaw bent all the way over.
Likely a path that I haven't seen much of after a couple blanks.
And they're just going to get that about halfway in the rings.
Believe the double's there.
Seems to also believe in the short run still. It's harder to miss now.
Yeah, Andrew might be seeing a better chance for the force here if they can run in their own, keep a yellow in the rings, and keep them separated.
We'll see. It looks like it is the double coming from Mark Fenner.
The lower level of difficulty on this shot, the trouble is those yellows are going to be pretty close together, and Schwaller might even be tempted to draw around there.
This is Mark Fenner, originally born in Bemidji, Minnesota. Famously home of the Bemidji State Beavers hockey team. One and just falls under the second one there. Extremely close.
Another break for Schwaller. Try to put this rock in a better position now. This pass should be a little warmer.
A touch deeper than that last one is probably where they want it. And looks like it's coming a bit nicer for the Schwaller team. They're going to bring it into the wing there. Sitting about 3/4 inside the 8-foot, which brings up
a good spot.
Andrew Stopera. Andrew Stopera, famously a 7-time United States junior champion.
Really?
Won it all the way from 2013 all the way to 2019. 7 straight years. That's something most people cannot say.
Not many easy options here. The top double's really steep, but it looks like Korey wants Andrew to give a go at it.
So make contact with the first and gets the second. Beautifully
Nice shot.
thrown rock. It's just how you draw it up.
Opportunity here for Dropkin to strike if they want to get aggressive on this next one. They could draw around that really tight center guard. Both these red rocks are going to be in the back house. We'll see if this conservative game continues, though.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet on anything like that quite yet. Fans in the chat cheering on Andrew Stopera after that great double. Just under 300 people watching on Curling Zone's YouTube channel. Happy to have you guys here with us on this Sunday afternoon. Hit is made by Schwaller and rolled right to the middle.
Oh, that might tempt them now.
Looks like Dropkin might be content to just come straight back to it.
Yeah,
block
an
off any
unlucky
of those
roll
from
there.
scoring.
Both those Reds right behind that yellow guard leaves a lot of backing, and they'll take the risk of throwing a draw there. If the Swiss rink wants to throw the run back, could probably jam on one of those Reds, if not both.
Well, there's a lot of good things that can happen here if you can make this. You're probably cutting off those two from ever scoring. Here it's Andrew Stopera. Andrew originally from Briarcliff, New York. And he's going to come up a little bit tight. Spill off that guard. Roll in for second shot. But now it's Yannick Schwaller who can hit that open yellow and sit 3 as the pressure is going to be on Korey Dropkin to make some shots that get his team out of a bit of a jam.
Yeah, it'll be another steep double lined up for Dropkin if the Swiss team puts us where they want it.
This is Yannick Schwaller, 28 years old, born in Solothurn, Switzerland. As here it comes from the skip out of the Geneve Curling Club. Well thrown rock. He's going to hit it just on the inside of nose. A little bit of a flop inside. Nothing too worrisome.
Oh, I think that's exactly where they wanted it. That only leaves the slash double. It looks like they're lining up the double?
The nose double, I assume, here. Korey Dropkin coming down for his first of the third end. First end we've had really some action in. He did take gold at last year's World Mixed Doubles Championships with his mixed doubles partner Corey Thies. That was in Gangneung, South Korea.
This one
close here. A little bit. Got one, got two, and we'll roll out to the 12-foot. Leads Yannick Schwaller sitting one. He's going to split this and hopefully take his deuce here if everything works out okay for him.
So Shorts can split the rings here perfectly. I think it's... Well, I shouldn't say a guaranteed deuce. Dropkin could have a chance to hit and roll. If he can stay full 8, leave a tough shot for Shorts on his last.
But this is a good setup shot for their dukes either way.
Yeah, just can't leave a double here. That's the main thing.
This is the first rock of the third end from Benoit Schwartz. He is currently a business administration student and living in Zurich, Switzerland. Looks close on this one. Sweepers are on it now. And they're going to get that just about dead even with their shot rock on the other side. Now second shot. Korey Dropkin will take a look at what he's got. on his last year.
Yeah, I think that's mission accomplished for the Swiss team. Not many options for Dropkin here to try and get a force. That's not a bad one. The hit and roll behind, back four behind that red rock. High degree of difficulty, but if he can pull it off, he might be able to get away with just forcing the Swiss team to one.
Yeah, these long rolls are very difficult all the time. Well, he likes the ice. Here comes Korey Dropkin. He's a graduate of the University of Minnesota. The University of Minnesota at Duluth. He's currently a landscaper and a curling instructor in the United States, living in Duluth, Minnesota, where his team curls out of. And this is the last rock for Korey Dropkin in the third end, looking to make a long hit and roll here to keep his team from giving up a deuce. It's Howell on the sweep alongside Fenner.
Pretty close on the line.
It's going to be close. We'll see the roll here. Just going to spill a bit too far. And it'll be a draw for two.
Very good attempt. That was a pretty precise shot, and they only missed it by about a foot.
And no hesitation for Benoit on this one, as he'll look to take the first score of this game. So here it is, last rock, third hand. Benoit Schwartz for the team out of Geneva, Switzerland. Looking for the outturn draw. Needs full 8 foot for his 2 points. Supers are off this early, but staying close. And they've taken over now. And into the 8 foot is no problem. Throw a deuce up on the board for Yannick Schwaller. It'll be a 2-0 lead going into the fourth. Korey Dropkin will have hammer for the first time in this game when we return at the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown.
I've been farming on my own right for 40 years now, I think. It's a very wholesome enterprise. You have very, very busy periods when you have to go hard. So many of our windows are so tight that you just can't afford to miss a couple days of seeding.
When a producer places their trust in us, that when it's time for them to be able to make their living, we're going to be there. That's a tremendous responsibility that is not a one-day-a-year thing, right? In order to actually deliver on that, you have to build your processes and you have to build your team and you have to have a mindset of operational excellence, because there's a lot of things that can go wrong. And it's our job to make sure that they don't go wrong. Or if they do go wrong, that we can fix it before it affects our customer.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Light up your love for curling with our customizable neon LED lights from Letterlands. Choose your new neon mixed doubles partner or make a statement with a neon curling rock in your window. Also actual Letterlands. Use discount code WHOA for 15% off. Only at Letterlands.com.
Welcome back inside the Innovation Credit Union iPlex in Swift Current, Saskatchewan. You're watching the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown on Curling Zone's YouTube channel. Thanks for tuning in with us. If you missed last end, it was a deuce from the Yannick Schwaller team out of Geneve, which leaves Korey Dropkin with the hammer in the fourth end. James, take us through that third end. What happened there?
Yeah, kind of for both teams, they kind of struggled to string a few good shots in a row. Finally got some action after a couple blank ends with the center guard from the Dropkin rink. Schwaller came around, which really started the offense, followed by a Dropkin draw that was a little light. So the Swiss team tried to take advantage. They fell a little deep. Fenner had an interesting kind of angle run-in that would have shaped up the Americans looking good in that end. I just fell a little tight, chopped off their center guard. Schwaller ended up sitting 3 after that. And after an amazing double by Stepera on his first, Stepera on his second, ended up wrecking on a draw on the center guard, which allowed the Swiss team to sit 3 again. Dropkin rolled out on a double attempt, which allowed the Swiss team to split the rings, leading to their eventual deuce.
Awesome. Thank you, James. This is Sven Michel now, throwing his first rock of the fourth end. Coming up just following the fourth end break, we'll take you around the rings, update you on the 3 other games that are on the ice alongside our feature sheet. Of course, every game on the ice right now is a semifinal matchup in the playoff round of this Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown. The final goes on later tonight at 4 o'clock, I believe, maybe 4:30. 4 o'clock sharp. This is Mark Fenner stepping into the hack. We're going to peel this red center guard. Solid setup from the Schwaller team so far. Dropkin does have double corners up. They'll be happy to try and use those. Run this one all the way back. Catch all 3.
Nice shot. Got all the Reds moving there.
I'm not sure if that second one got out.
Even that red that stayed in the rings is not a terrible spot. If they can get a draw in there under their corners, even if it's peeking a little open closer to the center line, it might be able to jam onto that red rock.
No, great throw, and that's what the fans love to see, is those hard and heavy ones that get a lot of rocks moving.
Looks like the Swiss team's going to try and take their chances going under this high center guard.
Needs to curl up a bit for them. Won't get as much curl as they would have liked. It might still be accessible from the outturned side there.
Stepera still liking the run.
You'll see here, this is Mark Fenner in the hack for his second of the fourth end here. And here it comes. On it early. Gets it, but will roll his runner out of play. And leave that guard still up there. I guess a rock higher now. As Yannick Schwaller makes his way down the sheet for his first.
A little bit of deja vu on this shot.
So we'll see if Schwaller can put it fully buried behind this yellow on the center line. Here's Yannick Schwaller, the skip out of Geneva.
Sweepers seem to like it.
It's coming in nicely. It's going to stop just outside the forefoot, but fully buried there. In time for Andrew Stopera's first. Korey Dropkin believes he can get around that center guard and hit and roll off it.
I think so. This would be a great outcome for Stopera if he can get his shooter to lie under those double corner guards. They had a fantastic setup by their lead.
Andrew Stopera is a second-generation pro curler out of the United States. His father, Bill, was also a pro curler, won the United States National Championships in 2012. Andrew is also a graduate from Northwestern University in Evanston, Illinois. He's coming close to this guard here. And once again, we'll see Stopera just over curl and nick off a guard on a big shot there. And that's a big opening for Schwaller to put some more pressure on this team from Duluth.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they call here. I think the more obvious call is just to put the center guard, and that's looking like they'll do just that. Try and get a steal here, go up 3.
Yeah, and either way, this leads, for a force at worst, the way we're looking at this end. And that's something that Yannick Schwaller would take all day. Taking the hammer in the 5th up by 1 is exactly where you want to be in a high-quality game like this. Over 300 viewers on Curling Zone's YouTube channel now. Thanks for stopping in and watching with us. You got Josh Usick alongside James Owens, calling this game from the Swift Current Curling Club. This is Yannick Schwaller's second rock of the 4th end. Trying to get this over for curl now. Want to cover as much of this red as they can, and they'll almost fully bury it. If anything, they're poking out on the outturn side just by an inch or two, but it's nothing Korey Dropkin wants to take on here.
Another run back here for the Americans.
Looking like they might be also looking to roll as a 4th corner guard over on the intern side for the Americans over there, if he can. Priority number 1 is getting rid of both of these. Looks like he'll stick it right on the nose, make contact with both, dead jam it, and leave that yellow guard up there. Tough pair from Andrew Stopera. And it's going to leave a big opening for this Swiss team to put a lot of pressure on Korey Dropkin as his stones come up next.
Two key misses there from Stopera, just getting a little unlucky on that run back and the over curl. Leaving the Swiss team a chance to maybe get a couple here, but really putting the pressure on Dropkin on his skip rocks.
Exactly. Are they trying to come around everything here, James, or is this just
I think so. Guard? I think there's just enough room to get to the top lid here.
We'll see. At first rock for the 4th end from Benoit Schwartz. Throwing forts for this team.
Sweeper seemed to like it. He's got to cut back a good ways.
Yeah, needs to curl for sure. Pablo Lachal, my mistake. Eager to curl that, and he's not going to get it as far as they'd like.
Great chance here for Dropkin. I see him looking at the run back.
He's still looking at that run back, yeah.
Surprised he's not looking at the hit and roll at all.
Not sure if you can roll inside on that one, just thrown by Benoit Schwartz. It's almost edge on edge with
no.
that.
Yeah, you're right.
With that one in the top 8.
Yeah, just try to clean up some reds in the house there. Leave an easier shot for his last to get away with at least one here.
Yeah, Korey Dropkin would be very lucky to have an open shot for one. Come his second shot. Either way. This is the first from the Massachusetts-born skip, now out of Duluth, Minnesota. Korey Dropkin. Looking to make some rocks move in the rings here. It's close.
Very close. Oh.
He's going to make a couple rocks move. Great catcher on the side there. But he's going to leave that shot rock now perfectly top 4. And it's about half buried by that yellow left up front. I almost think that this Schwaller team is content to guard it up. Because that is for sure what they believe is a steel rock.
I was going to say, very high probability if you can throw a really good guard on this to steal. I wouldn't think you'd want this rock in the rings, because otherwise you leave the short run back for 2, but maybe the Swiss team's worried about that in-off, that guard on the out-turn side.
Possibly.
Shouldn't say guard, but that one just outside the rings on the out-turn side. And Korey Dropkin's very capable of throwing one of his own off that, picking that one, and sitting right there on the 4-foot after his last.
So a full team timeout from the Schwaller team, debating their final rock in the 4th end here. They do not hold the hammer.
Whole team down at the far end talking about this one.
Well, while they're taking a time out here, let's talk about how Team Schwaller ended up at this point in the event. They're 4-2 as of right now. They opened up the event in draw 4 with a 5-3 victory over Braden Calvert of Manitoba. Took a 6-2 loss in the A event to Sam Louisbrick, followed by a victory over Kevin Cooey, 8-4 in the B. Dropped down to the C with a 10-6 loss to Mike McEwen, followed by picking up a win over Rylan Kleider, 7-2 in the C final to qualify for the playoffs, and won their quarterfinal matchup last night over Sam Louisbrick of Ontario, 7-6. As Benoit Schwartz settles into the hack and delivers his final stone, 4th end here, up by 2, without the hammer.
I believe they called this one to be back 4.
Interesting.
Kind of just Christmas tree, so there's not a double. But looks like this one's a little heavy.
It's going to slide for sure. We'll see if it'll slide all the way back to 3rd shot. Not quite. It'll settle in the back 8. And that'll prevent most chances for Korey Dropkin to score his deuce here. Unless he's looking at this run back double.
Well, they've thrown, I think, 4 of them already this end.
Yeah, they've been
You know the ice in that area.
This end. Yeah, that's true. Be an aggressive call. Shout out to Lucas King in the YouTube chat. Thanks for stopping by.
I think Dropkin has a real opportunity if he likes this shot to get right back in this game. It seems like it's a shot right up his alley, very mixed double-ish. Centerline run back into the 4-foot.
It's definitely a deliberation here.
And we're looking at the hit and roll. That's definitely there for one. All you got to do is stick it, hit 3/4 of that red one in the 4-foot and sit there.
It's the question here with how much they've been on the defensive this end. How many chances for two do they think they'll get this game? And how big is this deuce if they can tie this game up heading into the back half of the game when they won't have hammer starting the 5th?
Front end seems content with whatever the back end wants to call.
Yeah, they're not getting too involved.
And as I say that, player wants to come down and take a look.
And Howell's right behind him. His Korey Dropkin team is 5-2 in the event so far. They kicked things off in draw number 2 with a loss to Catlin Schneider of British Columbia, followed by a shutout victory 8-0 over Trevor Bonneau, lost to Hosley in the B event from 9-5, and since then they picked up 4 straight wins over Bonneau, Cooey, Ryan Weeb, and the quarterfinal last night, a 7-4 decision over Steve Laycock of Swift Current, which has led them here to the semifinal against Schwaller tonight. Of course, again, coming up at the top of the 5th end, we'll take you around the rings, update you on the scores from every game on the sheet, right on the ice right now.
They're going to go after it. Big shot coming up for Korey Dropkin.
This is a huge call. This is a game breaker for sure.
They know this spot. I think they've already thrown 4 of them. They made a lot of them. There's a shot right up Corey's alley with his mixed doubles background, and I think he's the best guy out there to make this shot right now.
So we'll see it. Last rock, 4th end coming up from Korey Dropkin, the skip out of Duluth, Minnesota. Looking to make a run back double to get his deuce and tie this up going into recess. Here it comes. He's close. Howell looking for a little more curl. He'll just breeze by the second one.
So close.
Touch more curl. It'll be a single for Korey Dropkin. He trails 2-1. And the Schwaller rink will take back the hammer when we return from Swift Current for the 5th end.
I've got the bill.
Well, now I've got the tip.
Standard tip increased 2% this year.
That's why I keep you around. So, corn's looking great.
Well, our crop plan is working.
And we locked in that input financing at the perfect time.
Well, what do y'all think? Too blue, Not blue enough? Try this.
Makes your eyes pop.
This could be our best yield yet.
And didn't we get this seed at a great financing rate?
Yeah, we did.
Iced tea? Great idea. Let's talk more about next year. I got some thoughts.
And I've got some numbers.
Nutrien Financial, financing that's in the field with you.
Welcome back inside the Innovation Credit Union iPlex in Swift Current, Saskatchewan. You're watching the World Curling Tour on curlingzone.com. Thanks for being with us. You just witnessed Korey Dropkin take a single in the fourth end to make this a 2-1 game. The team from Geneve, Yannick Schwaller, will take the hammer as we enter the fifth end of play and the back half. We've got 342 fans watching on YouTube. Thanks for being with us. Before we take you around the rings, James, how did that fourth end shape up in your eyes?
Yeah, it was a lot of back and forth. Both teams had a great setup. The Swiss with the center and the Americans with two corners. And after a couple peel and draw exchanges, when Stepera stepped into the hack for his first, just a little overcurl similar to the third end, wrecked on a guard, left the door open for the Swiss. Stepera had another chance to redeem himself with a run back, but then he ended up jamming again. Just some bad luck for Stepera in the last end. So the Swiss came around again. Swiss sitting 2 under a guard. Dropkin had a look at it and thought his best shot was to go after the long run back double for 2, and he ended up being very close, just ended up being a hair off, but the Americans will still come away with a single, definitely still in this game.
Awesome. Thanks for that, James. While we're in the front end stones, we'll take you around the rings quickly. We are one of the fastest games on the ice right now, if not the fastest game, with the opening 2 blanks, but the opposing semifinal on the men's side is between Mike McEwen of Saskatoon, and the only other Swiss team on the men's side left is Michael Brunner of Bern, Switzerland. They're tied at 1 as they play the fourth end here, and Michael Brunner has the hammer in that fourth end. Switching over to the women's side, Jolene Campbell of Winnipeg, Manitoba holds a 3-1 lead over Satsuki Fujisawa, and it is Jolene Campbell with the hammer in the fourth end over there. And in the opposing women's semifinal, Eunjun Kim of Gangneung, South Korea, popped another 4 spot in the first end, same as she did in the quarterfinals earlier today. She leads at 5-1 after 3 ends of play over Isabella Rana of Sundbyberg, Sweden. It is the Kim team with hammer as they play the fourth. And back to our feature sheet, of course, a 2-1 lead for Yannick Schwaller over Korey Dropkin with the hammer in the fifth end. All those games can be caught on Curling Zone's YouTube channel. This is Sven Michel.
Oh!
Wow.
Surgical shot from Sven Michel. I didn't think there was any way he could have picked that one right through the hole between those reds, and Sven Michel with some magic there.
He's had a great game so far, and a good week as well. Not to take away anything from him. I think that's one of those things as a player who was playing third for so long, you bump him down to second. Some players might take it as an insult. Some players might take it as a challenge. And I think Sven Michel's really excelled in that role since moving down to second. I think a lot of the pressure that he had as a back-end player might be off his shoulders. And he's really excelled playing that second position as a double's made by Mark Fenner. And we've got one rock in the rings. We've seen this before.
Yeah, Schwaller will most definitely be content here to get the blank, get the hammer back in the even ends.
Yeah, as we enter the later stages of this game, up with the hammer, you don't have any rush to score, especially when there's nothing developing in front of the rings. This is Pablo Lashaw on the sweep here. One of the taller players in this event this week. Makes the hit, rolls into the center. Sitting directly inside the 8-foot. If you're watching us on YouTube, don't be afraid. drop a chat in the live chat and let us know where you're watching. Let us know who you're cheering for. We'll be content to say hi. And Stopera's first will make the hit and roll out to the intern wing there. And we're speeding things up here as we're getting through a quick fifth end. Most certainly en route to another blank here, the third of the game it would be. Granted that Benoit Schwartz can make his last. Pablo Lachaux is zipping up his jacket halfway down the sheet here. Gets on the sweep late. They'll roll back towards the center, I believe. Maybe all the way out. Korey Dropkin on the scrub back there. And it will leave play. Open ring for Korey Dropkin. He'll elect to put up a center guard. Look for the Dropkin team to really push for a steal in these later ends. This is Stopera's second of the fifth end here. He'll drop that one, splitting the center line by about 3/4. And Yannick Schwaller would be content to peel it. Keep these rings open. Sven Michel with a broom down. And no trouble there from the skip. Benoit Schwartz will head back down to the other end. And Korey Dropkin is in the hack. As we mentioned, originally from the state of Massachusetts. Now makes his home in Duluth, Minnesota. Someone corrected me in the chat that Korey Dropkin is in the real estate business now. I said he was a landscaper. I guess he's a former landscaper. I have that he's employed as a landscaper and curling instructor while currently starting a new career in the real estate business. So, I don't know, maybe he's a triple threat. I usually default to thinking whoever's in the chat is right. Some of them are very familiar with the teams that we're showing. Of course, I try to know all I can about all the teams from all 7 countries competing at this event. Zanetta in the chat says she's rooting for Team Dropkin. Awesome to hear. We got a lot of Dropkin fans in the chat right now. Korey Dropkin's going to put this one over on the intern wing and make Benoit Schwartz make a play to get rid of it and roll out for the blank. This is Korey Dropkin's last rock, fifth end. Down by 1 without the hammer. Sweeper's got to go to get this where they need it. And they're going to drop that one short of the rings. And it'll be a throw through. Benoit Schwartz, last rock, fifth end with the hammer up by 1. Will be content to take a blank here. And carry the hammer over into the 6th end. As we head to break at the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown, it's Schwaller 2, Dropkin 1. Schwaller will have the hammer as we begin the 6th when we return.
Light up your love for curling with our customizable neon LED lights from Letterlands. Choose your new neon mixed doubles partner or make a statement with a neon curling rock in your window. Also actual Letterlands. Use discount code WHOA for 15% off. Only at Letterlands.com.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Swift Current is great because everybody that we do business with, we know on some sort of personal level.
What I love about Swift Current is the vibrant arts and culture community.
I really like Swift Current. We are not a big city, but the size of the city is really good and we have everything.
Swift Current is a great sports town, great teams and great fans.
People say, good morning, hi, how are you, even though we don't know each other.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
What a shot by Sven Michel.
Welcome back inside the Innovation Credit Union iPlex in Swift Current. You're watching the World Curling Tour on curlingzone.com and the semifinal draw of the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown between Yannick Schwaller and Korey Dropkin. It was a blank in the fifth end. Not much to talk about there besides a beautiful shot to clear up a lot of granite by Sven Michel on his first in that end. That really just essentially took a bit of the air out of the Dropkin team and forced them to just take the blank and try again in this end. This is Thomas Howell throwing his second lead stone here.
Yeah, an amazing triple by Sven Michel, followed up by a double by Fenner. Took all the wind out of the sails of that end, leading to a blank.
Yeah, and if there's one thing that Korey Dropkin doesn't need, it's less ends. Here's Pablo Lashaw.
Dropkin going hard for the steal here, putting two center guards up.
This would be a great end to steal here in the even end. And try and take your hammer home in the eighth. Switch the hammer around would be huge. After Schwaller just took it away in the even ends. After the blank that happened in the fifth.
Yeah, game plan here for Dropkin, definitely steal force deuce, and that gets you the win.
Exactly. Game that's been dominated by passive play, aside from the third and fourth ends. But we saw a game similar to this where it looked like the Schwaller team was in full control, and they let it slip away from them a bit earlier. James and I had the pleasure of calling his game against Mike McEwen, which felt a little similar to this, just not being able to capitalize. That was a whole lot higher scoring game than this was, but the last couple ends, the momentum seemed to shift, and they ended up dropping that one to Mike McEwen, a 10-6 decision, I believe. Mike McEwen, of course, on the other side of the bracket. It was a single for Michael Brunner. In that game, he takes a 2-1 lead over Mike McEwen, heading into the fourth end break. Here's Sven Michel. He's had a great game so far today. running this yellow back. Catches contact with the second one, but leaves his shooter there and just rolls that runner off the center line just by about a foot maybe.
Yeah, a little unlucky, but he opens enough. But I think both teams are trying to get stuff off the center line right now. Dropkin's still a chance with a bunch of guards. Still got to deal with a couple reds in the house right now.
Look at maybe some movement on those. He thinks he can bump that top red to the back four there, just maybe even with that other one.
Yes, the pair is really looking at junking this end up. Hopefully keep one of their own yellows around as a steal point.
Korey Dropkin has something to say about that. Calling about board weight, it looks like. Here's the second rock of the end for Mark Fenner. He's had a bit of an off and on game today. He's had some really good ends and a couple tough misses earlier in the game. He seems to have gotten his groove a bit. We'll see with this one. This is Thomas Howell on it early. And this one's curling a lot. Got to go hard to get it by that top red. They will. Now Dropkin curling it. Going to make contact with that second red on the shot rock at back four. Push it up to the rings and roll that now shot rock toward the side of the 4 foot. Dropkin sitting 2 and 3 now.
Yeah, not a terrible outcome. Schwaller's got something to think about on this one. And, if he hits that top yellow, Dropkin might take his chances, draw all the way around those. Be a little surprised if they hit something in the house here. They seem like they were just on a plan to... Oh, here we go. Yeah, as I was about to say, clear out all the guards, and they've gone back to that.
And that will be the call, yeah. So here's Sven Michel. His team up by 1 with the hammer. He's throwing his last rock here in the 6th end. And the shot on it early misses everything.
Just missed that yellow guard.
Sven Michel make all day. Just a bit off kilter and a big opportunity here for the Dropkin team now as we enter 3rd rocks in the 6th end.
Well, the Schwaller rank with 4 rocks left. I think the Americans might want to go with another guard here. It's a lot of granite yet to come, and those Swiss boys can move a lot of rocks.
That's true. Some real deliberation out of Dropkin here.
Dropkin looks like... Yeah, it looks like he just wants to move some rocks around. Maybe create some backing, leave some things to jam on for the Swiss.
Stopera is going to come take a look at it alongside the front end.
So you might want to go after that back red as well. Might be able to get back there with a soft weight, just tap it back. Sit, shot, rock, possibly 1st and 2nd, maybe 3rd. But not a lot of cover for those rocks, even if you have them there.
Dropkin's already played 43 games this season so far. He sits with a record of 23 and 20. I think with splitting those 2 top yellows is you might take away your angle on the outturn to get back to that shot rock red there, which you do maybe have a sliver of. soft weight, you're maybe able to get back there and catch it.
They're just calling for the freeze tap. Maybe tap that red a little bit, but still keep it around so they can hopefully keep some yellows in the forefoot there if the Swiss wanted to throw some heat.
It's an aggressive call for sure. But definitely an end where Dropkin's going to want to steal a point if he can, without a doubt. So here is Andrew Stopera. First rock, in the 6th end. Just can't make it around that top yellow guard, and that's been a theme with Andrew Stopera's rocks all day today.
Yeah, Andrew's just been having some overcurls on both his rocks. Seems like he's got an extra sharp pair today.
And definitely a tough one, and where there was a big opening for the American team to get there, maybe push that back, sit 2 or maybe even 3. That's a real tough miss that it's got to deflate them quite a bit.
We'll see what Schwaller wants to do here. They have a few options. We've seen possible double, maybe triple, if they want to peel the guard just to make sure that they'll have a shot on Benoit Schwartz's last. They could do that. Not too sure they want to blank the 6th end here. It's losing the hammer in the evens when you're up isn't the greatest. I don't think they'd be too disappointed even getting a single here. Being up 2 with hammer still in the evens, really good.
Well, I mean, the way that they've been hitting today, there's no the blank's never out of the question no matter where Dropkin puts his rocks, right?
It looks like they're talking about
clearing up.
It looks like they're talking about that triple.
So here comes the skip, the game manager from the Geneva Curling Club, Yannick Schwaller.
Not the triple, but some sort of angle run to move some yellows out of there. It looks like.
So here it is. Schwaller's first of the 6th end. He has the hammer up by 1. Coming in tight. He's going to get rid of 2 yellows. One of them, which is in the rings.
The guard called by Korey Dropkin.
Yeah, looking to protect that yellow as long as they can. They believe that can be their 2nd point, clearly. Possibly even a runner as we get to Korey Dropkin stones. So here's Andrew Stopera again, originally from the state of New York. And he'll make that without too much of a problem. It's maybe almost half open for Yannick Schwaller, the rock they were targeting to guard.
The Swiss want to get aggressive here. The intern draw is there, but they want to save that for later. Looking at this double or another. Possibly another angle run-in peel. Get a couple more yellows to fly out of there.
You see there's a lot of options for Schwaller here with where that guard was placed.
Looks like he's going to take on the thin double.
This would go a huge way, not only to setting up the deuce, but just keeping this Dropkin team away from anything close to a steal here. Not out of the woods yet, obviously, with skip rock still to come, but this is a big shot for Yannick Schwaller. Yannick is an architect in Switzerland and is currently a business student as well. He's close. I think this is the soft weight on the rock that Dropkin was originally intending to guard.
Yeah, definitely not the double.
It's close. Is going to push it back. Schwartz to sweep it as far as it'll go. And it'll still sit there for second shot. Wow. Maybe just pulled the string on that one a touch. Couldn't get rid of it. Maybe didn't catch as much of it as he wanted to as well.
No, a little bit more weight or a little bit thicker, but door definitely open for the Americans right now to try and get a steal here. They got that center guard. They got that red back house, that possible jammer. I'm not seeing much else other than the draw full top four.
I think that's the call. You have a chance to get this one fully buried on the shot where Stapera couldn't put the guard perfectly covering the rock they were trying to last time, and especially with an opportunity to get shot here. I don't think it's a chance you can pass up as Korey Dropkin here.
No, it even looks like that yellow-red is queued up to take it off the forefoot, but I think you got to throw this one for Schwaller to take a chance to get it out of there. And you're probably going to be throwing the same shot on your next one. It's a real great chance for Dropkin and the American team to get a steal here.
Just a matter of where to put the ice now. Taking a quick another look around the rings. Jolene Campbell is leading Satsuki Fujisawa by a score of 4-2 following 5 ends of play. They're playing the 6th, and Jolene Campbell has the hammer. And Eunjung Kim took a single in the 5th to lead 6-2 over Isabella Rana. Time's running out for Rana, down 4 with 3 ends to play, but she does have the hammer as they play the 6th in the opposing women's semifinal.
A nice feeler shot here for Korey Dropkin. If he can sink this one good, he's likely going to be throwing the same shot on his next.
That's a big shot from Dropkin here. Puts us in a good spot. You're hoping this is possibly your steal rock. And there it is from the skip out of Duluth. This is Fenner and Howell on the sweep. Line looks close, needs to curl a little bit more than it is now, but it'll hit it pretty soon here. Now it starts to curl. Need to get this as deep as they can here. They got its second shot, but not quite to the shot rock.
No, and similar to what we've seen yesterday, that slide path really comes into effect kind of in the 6th end here, and you can see it slow down. Sweepers had a little bit of panic after they crossed the hog line.
Totally.
And they knew they were going to be a little bit short.
And Schwaller is taking a look at that yellow-red that you were mentioning just earlier. Does look, if you even just nose that target yellow, That red's going straight back onto that rock just thrown by Korey Dropkin. Updating the opposing men's semifinal, it was Michael Brunner taking a steal of 1 over Mike McEwen in the 5th. It's now a 3-1 lead, the biggest lead of the game for Michael Brunner. And Mike McEwen retains the hammer as they play the 6th end. Hit over 400 viewers now during this semifinal game. Many of them from the United States, so we'd like to say hello to our neighbors down south. If you're watching this from Switzerland, say hi as well. I believe it's later in the evening over there. But we're glad to have viewers from anywhere in the world. Say hi, let us know where you're watching from. Let us know what team you're cheering for.
Lots of deliberation on this shot. Swiss really don't want to give Dropkin another chance to put that rock in a better spot, so they're trying to either cut off or figure out a way where Dropkin can't get to another spot where he can get a steal.
Well, you got to think, throwing that yellow-red on the angle, you almost want to leave that for your last if you need it, correct?
Yeah.
If you're throwing this, you're probably just leaving Korey Dropkin the same shot in a second, then you don't have that exact angle to make it on your last, right?
Yeah. So I might have missed it, but I think they're just drawing to the top 4. Did you catch that?
I think you're right on that. I was also doing a little scoreboard watching, but I believe you are correct.
Yeah, if they can grab just a nibble of the 4-foot there, cut off that path, Dropkin's forced to probably make a tap on his own, and then Schwaller has the short run, probably for 3. So I don't know, you might see a defensive shot from Dropkin if Schwaller can put this one in a good spot.
They're going to bring it right into the back 4, it looks like. And it'll be Schwaller sitting 2. Dropkin will look to make a hit and roll underneath the yellow he threw on his previous one to sit
That's
shot
the first
rock.
option. I wouldn't mind seeing him throw the exact same shot he just threw. Like I said, like, can jam on there. If you get it lined up good, it might jam on that one that Schwaller just threw. If they try to come at it with an out-turn hit.
Phoebe says hi from Geneva. Hello. From across the pond. James and I are calling this game from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. This event, of course, happening in Swift Current, Saskatchewan, just about 3 hours west. But these teams will meet again in Saskatoon on the Grand Slam of Curling this week, on Tuesday night, I believe. So they won't be apart for very long. Got about 48 hours to think about this game once it's over before they meet again. I think Korey Dropkin is pretty settled on the hit and roll here.
Yeah, I think that's the shot. Only thing is that it leaves Schwaller to draw with backing. That in-turn draw is wide open.
Well, it does, and if you don't make this roll perfectly, he's going to have an open hit for 2 as well.
I think they just changed their mind, switch it to the draw.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. So Korey will get another shot at that same draw he just threw.
So it is Korey Dropkin of Duluth, Minnesota, throwing 4ths for this team with his last in the 6th end, down 1 without hammer. Hoping to make this draw cold and sit for shot rock.
Sweepers should have a better idea of this path. A little bit warmer. They should be aware of the slide path now. Not sweeping for curl as much as they were in the last one.
Looks close. It's got to slow down a touch. Wow.
Oh, great
Slows
spot.
down just in time. Grabs about half of the button.
Not easy to get rid of those. I'm not sure if that port's there to kill both of those on the out-turn side.
Yeah, that was a great shot from Korey there. Tim says hello from Iowa. Appreciate you stopping in and watching with us, Tim. C. Molson says he's watching from Chisholm, Minnesota. We appreciate you being here with us. No doubt you're cheering on the team from Duluth, Minnesota, I presume.
Not an easy call here for the Swiss team.
No, that was a cold-blooded shot by Korey Dropkin there. And it's put the Swiss team in a bit of a tough spot here. This has been a big end. It's caused a lot of deliberation from both teams. It allowed the rest of the ice to sort of catch up with our feature sheet here.
Yeah, if they don't decide that there's a hit that's there, there's the exact same in-turn draw that Korey just threw. Should have a little bit of room to get by there. You could probably throw it back tee, just chisel off the side of that yellow rock, sit on the button.
It looks like it will be the draw from Benoit Schwartz.
So, perfect placement from Korey Dropkin then.
Yeah, couldn't have made that shot much better. You can't hurt yourself with this draw. Steal of one isn't the end of the world for this Schwaller team. They'll probably look to try and blank the 7th. But here is the last rock in the 6th end for Benoit Schwartz. Throwing fourths for the Swiss team out of Geneva. Up by 1 with the hammer. Looking for a draw to the pin for his single point. Michel and Lachat are on it early.
Really going hard for Wade here. See if they learn the slide path from Korey's 2 rocks.
It looks very close.
Wow.
Wow.
Pistol.
Right on the button. Put up a single point for Yannick Schwaller. And the Swiss team will take a 3-1 lead. And we'll lose the hammer to Korey Dropkin as we play the 7th when we return at the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Well, what do y'all think? Too blue? Not blue enough? Try this.
Makes your eyes pop.
This could be our best yield yet.
And didn't we get this seed at a great financing rate?
Yeah, we did.
Iced tea? Great idea. Let's talk more about next year. I got some thoughts.
And I've got some numbers.
Nutrien Financial. Financing that's in the field with you.
SaskTel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? SaskTel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
Welcome back inside the iPlex in Swift Current, Saskatchewan. You're watching the World Curling Tour on curlingzone.com. Josh Usick alongside James Owens on the call. And we have a 7th end here for you. James, why don't you walk us through that 6th end? What happened there?
Yeah, the Dropkin team started off really aggressive, double center guards. Schwaller wasting no time, came around both of them. The Dropkin team, in response, made a couple of soft shots just to move some rocks around. Schwaller trying their best to just knock the rocks out of there, clear it up, possibly get away with a blank. But it ended up working in the Americans' favor. Dropkin had a golden opportunity for a steal, made the perfect draw around a bunch of rocks, couldn't have put it in a better spot. But Schwartz came back with a shot of his own for the Schwaller rink, put it right on the button for a score of 1. So Schwaller up 3-1 in the 7th end without the hammer. They'll definitely be looking to get a steal here if they can. Make it real tough on Dropkin in the last end.
And that's what I was going to say here, is if your team Dropkin, what's your objective in this end? Are you looking to take your deuce and hopefully steal coming home? Or are you trying to blank this and take your 3 in the 8th with hammer?
I think it's a plan A, plan B situation if I was out there. Try to get your deuce if it's not shaping up. Make some noise, get all the rocks out of there. Try to get it coming home.
I think with the setup we're seeing from the Dropkin team right now, they're certainly looking to score their deuce, if not more, in this end. Both of these teams came out of the C, so they're forced to play the maximum amount of games through their draw to be able to take home the trophy. This is Ben Michel's first in the 7th end here. This will be the last end going away. Barring an extra. He'll bring it to just full 12. Stopera elects to keep under that corner guard. Looked like Dropkin was looking at that run back. Maybe convinced Stopera now. Hello to Robert, watching from Shelley Beach, South Africa, and cheering on Team Dropkin from way in the southern hemisphere. Hello to you. Thanks for tuning in with us.
Very aggressive call here from the Americans. I love it. If they're trying to get 3 here, this is the way you do it. Getting 2 helps a little bit, but not a lot. It really spices things up, gets some of the Reds out of there, gives them a good chance to put up a big score.
Well, this was their strategy in the 4th end, try to catch these runbacks and try and roll as far to the wings as they could. They set up a lot of corner guards in that end, didn't get the chance to use many of them. But a good shot there by Fenner.
Yes.
Mark Fenner. Sven Michel will let go his last in the 7th end.
Schwaller will keep calling for the draws around that center guard. Steal here is huge for the Swiss rink.
Even a force, the game is completely in your hands coming home. He'll drop it just about half in the 8-foot. As we approach Mark Fenner's last. Debate here over the run back and the draw. It looks like they'll elect to draw behind that corner guard. Those double corner guards, my mistake. So here it is, last of the second rocks from Mark Fenner.
Looking pretty good. Sweeper's not on it very much, but this is where you'll see it to start to slow down.
Starts to slow down and hits that curl as well. Sweepers take it as far as they can. and they'll get completely under that corner guard. Great shot there by Fenner.
Great couple of shots by Fenner this end.
This American team has a great show of depth across the United States. All 4 members are from different states. Dropkin originally from Massachusetts, Stopera originally from New York, Fenner from Minnesota, and Thomas Howell was originally born in Bentleyville, Ohio. Yannick Schwaller will make his way down the sheet for his first, and he'll come back to take a look at these rings again, alongside Sven Michel.
Not sure what the original call was. I assume just the soft white tap on the yellow.
Mm-hmm. Take a look at it. He might believe he sees enough of this red on the top intern side in the 12-foot there to be able to run it right back onto the shot just thrown by Mark Fenner.
I think so. Schwaller can take a lot of chances here. The only thing that really hurts them is giving up a 3. So getting rid of yellows is very good. I think if he was going to play that soft shot, that yellow is still maybe sticking around in the ring somewhere, but throwing the red-yellow run back will guarantee the yellow rock in the rings will be out.
So here it is now. First rock. 7th end from the skip, Yannick Schwaller. He's close on this. And he's got it perfectly. Beautiful shot by Schwaller there.
Great shot.
And that was a really pistol draw by Mark Fenner, and that's a little bit deflating for the Dropkin team here. Hoping to generate some offense clearly from the setup they've put up there. Hello to Gregor, watching from Slovenia. Joey is watching this game from Thunder Bay, Ontario. Thanks for stopping by and watching with us. It's been a pleasure calling this game so far with you. And we still got about an end and a half at least to go. This is Andrew Stopera now in the hack for the Dropkin team.
Sorry, Josh, was this the soft weight freeze on the red?
I think it looked like it to me. If not, just come back behind it, maybe a plan B. It looks like that's where he wants it. It looks tremendously close. Gets by that yellow corner guard, trying to hold the line so they can get for shot. They won't get. They'll sit there for third shot. Sorry.
They expect Schwaller to get aggressive here, and yep, they called for the draw, top lid. Try and sit 3 here without the hammer.
Taking a quick look onto the women's side. It was Jolene Campbell scoring her deuce in the 6th over Satsuki Fujisawa. Jolene Campbell holds a 6-2 lead over the Japanese rink now. They head into the 7th. It's Fujisawa with the hammer. And Isabella Rana is staying alive against Eunjun Kim of South Korea. He scored a deuce in the 6th. Kim is up 6-4 with the hammer as they play the 7th as well. Here is Yannick Schwaller with his last of the 7th end.
Broom is out there a lot more compared to the other draws today. See how this line shapes up.
Looking like it's curling nicely. They're definitely on it for line here. It's going to hit this curl pretty soon here and slow down.
Just light and started crashing towards that one, so. Still an opportunity for Dropkin.
Yeah, Dropkin still third shot after that. Stopera still has his last of the 7th end. Coming up. Gregor was mentioning the 2012 Youth Olympics, which Korey Dropkin competed in.
Lots of deliberation on this call. Seems like they're looking at doubling off those reds. Tough to see anything for the Dropkin rank that gets them a 3 in this end. So I think just trying their best right now to put up a 2 and hopefully steal again. Or I shouldn't say steal again, have another good chance of stealing. Dropkin's draw in the 6th end was so good, I thought he stole.
Here is the final rock from Andrew Stopera. In the 7th end, his team's down by 2, but has the hammer. Shot is called and makes contact with all 3. Can't spill the initial targeted rock.
A little unlucky that that red jammed and rolled right to the edge of the 4-foot.
Yeah, it's a good spot for Schwaller, and they'll be looking to sit 2 after this. Updating you on the opposing men's semifinal. Mike McEwen scored his deuce in the 6th to tie things up against Michael Brunner of Switzerland. 3-3 they play in the 7th. Michael Brunner will have the hammer over there. You think it's the same draw here. A little bit easier now for Benoit Schwartz.
That's what I expect, yeah. Don't have to come around a guard that's in the top house this time, so come straight down there. Don't have to worry about wrecking. Just get the weight right, put it behind that center guard. They'll be looking really good to force or possibly steal here in this end.
Exactly. So here we are, Benoit Schwartz, throwing fourths for the Swiss rink out of Geneva with his first in the 7th end. His team's up by 2 without the hammer. Sweeper's laying off this early. And this one looks like it's going to stop just above the button on the outturn side of the center line by about 6 inches maybe.
Sticking out just a little bit to maybe tease Dropkin to try and play a soft weight sink one in there.
It looks like he's trying to make the soft weight hit and roll, maybe right on top of the second shot red.
Ideally, I'm not sure if you can roll that well here, possibly, but hit that one in the top 4 and roll behind the center guard for shot rock.
It is a really tough shot. Dropkin maybe bringing the run back into question now. Something this Dropkin team has been quick to decide on, but I haven't made many of them today.
Yeah, very important shot here for this team. Could determine the fate of this game.
Absolutely. Don't forget, all 4 games of this draw are available to watch on Curling Zone's YouTube channel, as well as both finals coming up at 4 p.m. local time here in Swift Current. Men's and women's final will hit the ice, and they will both be available to watch through curlingzone.com.
Dropkin seeing the run back again. Another one of these mixed doubles type shots. He made a bunch of these in his career. Try to kill both Reds back there. Probably stick the shooter as a center guard still.
And be able to sit too.
Try to get that yellow that he's running in to sit behind what would be practically triple corner guards.
So Korey Dropkin, the skip for this team based out of Minnesota, throws his first in the 7th end, looking for the long run back, possibly make the double on the Reds and the Rings, and sit 2. He's extremely close here. Gets one, gets them both, and rolls under the corner.
Oh, yeah. Perfect execution.
Can't make it much better than Korey Dropkin just did. That might have been a game saver for this team from Duluth, Minnesota. Big fist bump for Korey as he heads back behind the house there.
Yeah, there's all that mixed doubles experience coming into play. Play those probably 4 or 5 times a game. Really translate to the 4-person game.
And that's got to bring some momentum and some life back into this Dropkin team that has been suffocated by this Schwaller team's strategy all game so far.
Benoit Schwartz taking on the aggressive angle run double.
Looking to be able to peel this and catch at least one of those yellows in the ring, if not 2 of them.
Got to make sure you catch at least one of these. If Benoit Schwartz, one of the best shot makers in the world, but if you ever lose the handle a little bit and just peel the center, Dropkin take the lead in this game.
Yeah, this is a huge shot. Benoit Schwartz, last rock in the
Hard
7th without hammer. They miss everything.
Wow.
And it's going to be an open draw. Hit the paint for 3 for Korey Dropkin to take the lead for the first time in this game. Wow. A huge shot from Korey Dropkin to sit
all the
2.
way back.
And a tough miss from Benoit Schwartz is going to give Korey Dropkin the opportunity to drop a 3 spot in the 7th end and take the lead coming home in the 8th in this semifinal matchup.
Really taking his time. No need to rush this one. This is a big one.
Here it is. Korey Dropkin. Last rock, 7th end with the hammer. Trails by 2, but all he needs is a bite of the paint to get his 3 and take the lead coming home in the 8th end. Fenner and Howell on the sweep. They like it out of his hand. Korey Dropkin feels confident as he drops back. He'll clean it gingerly into the rings, and it's a 3 for
Here we
Korey
go.
Dropkin and the team from Duluth, Minnesota.
Doesn't get much better than this.
It'll be a 4-3 lead for the Dropkin team as we return in the 8th end. Schwaller will take back the hammer.
I've been farming on my own right for 40 years now, I think. It's a very wholesome enterprise. You have very, very busy periods when you have to go hard. So many of our windows are so tight that you just can't afford to miss a couple days of seeding.
When a producer places their trust in us, that when it's time for them to be able to make their living, we're going to be there. That's a tremendous responsibility that is not a one-day-a-year thing, right? In order to actually deliver on that, you have to build your processes and you have to build your team and you have to have a mindset of operational excellence, because there's a lot of things that can go wrong. And it's our job to make sure that they don't go wrong. Or if they do go wrong, that we can fix it before it affects our customer.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Light up your love for curling with our customizable neon LED lights from Letterlands. Choose your new neon mixed doubles partner or make a statement with a neon curling rock in your window. Also actual Letterlands. Use discount code WHOA for 15% off. Only at Letterlands.com.
Welcome back inside the Innovation Credit Union iPlex, Swift Current, Saskatchewan. You're watching the World Curling Tour on curlingzone.com and the 8th end of the semifinal draw at the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown between Korey Dropkin and Yannick Schwaller. James and I are still reeling from that insane end to the 7th we just witnessed. It was Yannick Schwaller in control the whole end, but a beautiful run back double made by Korey Dropkin and a total miss on the run back, following by Benoit Schwartz that left a draw open to the paint for Korey Dropkin to take his 3, take the lead for the first time in this game, and put the pressure on Yannick Schwaller to score a deuce to take his win in 8 here.
What a heater.
We were both still reeling, and the chat was reeling after that one. Mary's cheering hard. Clock Basher's cheering hard. Tim says, what a shot. Curling at its best.
Well, Korey really flipped this game on its head. You know, it seemed like the Schwaller rink was in control the whole game. Up until 5 minutes ago, we were 2 hours into this game, and Dropkin only had 1 point. Now they're up 4-3 out of nowhere in the 8th end. So just
a huge turnaround.
An amazing turnaround, in that 7th end, an aggressive start by the Americans with their shot calling, and they took a couple risks, and it paid off with an amazing Korey Dropkin double, and then the open draw to put up 3. And they're in the driver's seat now. They have all the control in this game. All they got to do is get a force here, or if they can steal here, they'll see themselves in the final.
Exactly. We're getting tighter and tighter, and this is a huge end now. Dropkin with the center. Dropped one right behind it. This is Mark Fenner throwing this rock. It's going to come up just barely short of the rings, but lined up to cover up that shot rock sitting in the top 8 right now. We're up to 430 plus viewers in YouTube right now, watching us on Curling Zone. Thanks for being here with us. We got at least one more end in us. Maybe 2, if we're lucky. Should we be so lucky? Catch another end of this awesome game. And the worst part about this game is one of these teams is going home.
Oh, they're both going to Saskatoon.
That's true. You can catch both these teams on the Grand Slam of Curling this upcoming week at Merlis Belcher Place in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
That slide path is really coming into effect here. That draw that the Dropkin rink called for Fenner came up 8 feet short. That one was called to be top 4, top lid.
Mm-hmm.
And that slide path is eating away at the rocks when they try to get in there.
Absolutely. I'm going to try and update you guys on scores around the rings while we're still early on in this 8th end. It was handshakes between Satsuki Fujisawa and Jolene Campbell. It goes down as a 6-2 decision. Jolene Campbell is the first team to clinch her berth in the championship final here in Swift Current. On the other women's semifinal, it was Isabella Rana, who scored 4 unanswered points to tie things up in the 8th with Eunjung Kim of South Korea. It'll be the Kim team with Hammer in the 8th to decide that one and who will play Jolene Campbell in the women's final coming up in a little over an hour. The Mike McEwen Michael Brenner game is still the slowest game on the ice right now. They are still deadlocked at 3 as they play the 7th end. All 3 of the games remaining on the ice are available to watch through Curling Zone's YouTube channel, as well as the 2 championship finals, men's and women's, coming up at 4 p.m. local time. Until then, we hope you're enjoying our feature game here in the semifinal.
Full time out here by Schwaller, and they're really weighing all their options.
Trying to clear up a bunch of this yellow up front of the house, eh?
Yeah, they've pointed to just about every rock now, and they need to take a vote on what they want to do.
Well, this is the kind of shot that Sven Michel has been making today. Lashaw is on it early. Now Benoit Schwartz on it for curl. He'll make contact with all 3, get rid of 2, leave one as a center guard there, and roll his shooter just a touch off to the outturn side.
And that's been
about a piece of the forefoot.
That's been Sven Michel all week. He's always so close, if not perfectly on the mark on those run backs. He's made a lot of teams pay.
We've been talking very nicely about Sven Michel so far today. He's had a great game, and now Mark Fenner is here to try and correct that draw he came up a bit light on his last. Maybe a bit of an overcorrection here. The sweepers are laying off it a touch. This one might slide. Starting to slow down and hit that curl now, but I think it's still going to come to the back house.
Just a little outside that slide path. Kept it gliding.
So a bit of an overcorrection there from Fenner.
Yeah, if that rock's another 6 inches closer to the center line, and lays on the brakes, and I think it would have sat down somewhere in the forefoot.
Last of the second rocks on tap here. Sven Michel stands in the hack.
Good chance to make a take shot off this one and sit behind those double corners. Try and get the deuce back in play for the Swiss team.
See here, there seems to be some deliberation between the skip and the rest of the team. Yannick Schwaller stands in the rings. Looks like they will call for this wick off the center guard and roll over to the corner. It's a difficult shot. And Lashaw is hard for curl now. I'm not sure if he's going to make contact. He's going to rack off that red corner guard. Roll onto the rings, and Dropkin will try and take it through. And he will. Not quite out of play, but not counting on the rings at all. It's the Dropkin ring sitting 1, back 8. They'll look to correct that draw and put one top 4 here behind that yellow center guard. And that's a tough miss from Sven Michel, who was hoping to get that yellow center guard off the center line at least.
A chance for Andrew to really help put a yellow in the forefoot here after Fenner had some trouble on his 2 rocks.
So we'll see here, this is Andrew Stopera with his first of the 8th end coming home here.
Rock should grind to a halt here.
Beautiful from Stopera there. And in a game where he's been missing a couple a little bit tight, that was a perfectly thrown rock. Peeks out a little bit on the out-turn side there, but perfect weight there.
Yeah, from the left hack, that should be, from the left hack, that should be just about fully buried. Looks like they'll try and get at it with some soft weight, just tap it to the back four. Stay under that center guard and press for the deuce under that center guard.
We'll update you shortly on the McEwen-Brunner game. Brunner is about to throw his last rock in the 7th. There's about 10 billion rocks in the rings in that game right now. So that's why they've been falling a bit behind. And that one ended up with a single for Michael Brunner. He'll take a 4-3 lead, but give the hammer back to McEwen as they play the 8th end over there. Here's Yannick Schwaller, about to throw his first to the 8th end. His team needs a single at least to force an extra. That deuce will win him the game.
Not easy. Both teams have kind of struggled in this spot this end.
Gonna wreck on that yellow center guard. Push it into the rings and roll off, covering that out-turn side draw pretty much completely. And things are shaping up.
I think
things are shaping up pretty well for Korey Dropkin, yeah.
Both sides.
Keeping the updates going. It was the second 4 spot of the game for Eunjung Kim of South Korea, as she takes a 10-6 decision over Isabella Rana of Sundbyberg, Sweden. So the women's final is set. It'll be Jolene Campbell of Winnipeg taking on Eunjung Kim of South Korea. That goes at 4 p.m. local time, and it can always be watched on Curling Zone's YouTube channel. 2 games remain on the ice now, both on the men's side of the event.
Great chance for Stopera to put this guard in a better spot than it was before. Really solidify those 3-shot rocks. Calling like it's heavy.
Slowing down now and starting to curl. Need this to get to the center line to block that shot rock, and it will cover it. Maybe a touch higher than the Dropkin team wanted that, James? Or is that where
I think they wanted that closer to the S3 logo with that AWS there right on the center line. You know, that slide path is really killing the rocks.
Yeah, well, you said that the sweepers were treating it like they thought it was tracking a little heavy, and that sure came to a halt quickly, but
yeah,
the line does work out for them.
I think I heard them right around before they hit the hog line. They were saying house, and that rock was at least 6 feet from touching the rings.
Yep. So we hit skip rocks.
Still not easy for Schwaller. I think he still has some room there to get a soft shot around that center guard and still knock that one on the 4-foot back in the house. So one of his Reds can sit shot. But
that is true. I think that's what they're banking on right now is that soft weight tap back. Try to get in there. Draws are looking real tough with the junk that's in front of the rings right now. So this is a huge shot for Schwaller. Need to capitalize now before the droth paths get even tighter or wider.
Sweeper's calling heavy again.
Here's LaShaw trying to curl now. Needs this one to move over. He'll get past that yellow guard. It looks perfect right now. He'll knock it back, but it looks like it'll stick for shot rock in the back 4. Would you agree with me on that one, James? That's Dropkin shot rock?
Yes. Yeah, I think that's yellow. And, I think they just throw up another guard and make it extra tough. Force Schwartz to throw probably an angle run on a sharp angle.
It looks like they might try a corner freeze here on this red that was just thrown. Makes it borderline impossible to promote. And like you said, if they're light, which is very likely with the way the ice is moving now, it's possible to leave it as the guard, and that's not a bad result either way.
Yeah, interesting on that shot from Schwaller again. Both the sweepers calling up weight and not touching it on the way down, and it just grinded to a halt once it starts to inch towards that center line. Full team down there to talk about the shot now.
Yeah, these are big shots as we enter the skip rocks. And a little under 600 viewers watching us on YouTube as we enter skip rocks in the 8th end. You're watching the World Curling Tour on curlingzone.com.
Yeah, it's pretty scary to draw all the way down the corner freeze because you don't want to promote that red rock to shot because then you're going at least.
Absolutely, especially when it's this close.
Yeah.
Maybe just
could be going inches. An extra, could be shaking hands.
So Korey Dropkin sets himself with the intern.
Yeah, tolerance on this shot is always light. If they can get this somewhere around the 12-foot area, I think that'd be a great spot.
So here comes now Korey Dropkin's first rock in the 8th end, leading by 1 without the hammer. Looking to block this second shot red from being promotable, whether it's with a corner freeze or a guard.
Looks to be out there. Might need to put on the curl a little bit.
It's got to get past this yellow in the top 12 first, and I don't think it will.
This one. Chip off a little bit.
A little bit of a chip there.
Might have left him the tap for 1. Doesn't look like they're going after anything for multiple score.
Well, you look to save yourself something on Benoit's last for sure. Looks like they're trying to promote this on the outturn side. This is not an impossible port to navigate. It looks a lot tighter from the view from the hack, of course, than it does on the aerial view. I think it'll help calm the nerves of Team Schwaller sitting shot rock for now, at least. Gotta be careful not to promote this into a spot where Korey Dropkin's able to make a short run on either of those yellows sitting on the intern side now. He's got a couple options with those for sure.
Looks like they want to go after the angle run now. Possibly double off those yellows in the back. Sit 2 behind that center guard. There's the chance you leave the outturn draw open for Dropkin, but as we've seen in this end, draws are not an easy shot.
Absolutely. Seems that things are fudging up past the hog line quite hard. Once you get past that point, your broom's got to be down, or it's going to slow down and slow down fast.
So it looks like the control weight, possibly just tap it back, just leave some backing back there with those yellows.
So here's Benoit Schwartz with his first of the 8th end. His team trails by 1, but has last rock advantage. Tap this on an angle.
Close.
Tap it up to shot rock. Wow.
Looking at an extra end right now.
That was a great shot by Benoit Schwartz.
Great team shot. Weight call was good. Weight was good. Sweep was good. Line call was terrific.
And Korey Dropkin's got to be sweating now.
And like I said, the outturn draw is open there. And you could probably tap that red back just enough to sit shot, and then it's really tough for Benoit Schwartz to get another rock in there.
Let's see, at this point in the game, it's going to be really tough to navigate that board with a draw weight. And you got to really curl immediately after that that red in the top 8 there. To make sure you don't flop right into the open and be able for a hit and roll on Benoit's last for 2 in the win.
I think if the ice conditions were the way they were in the first few ends, the outturn draw is the automatic call, but it's been really tough to place a rock right where you want it this end.
It's very true. Korey Dropkin not quite sold on following him right down yet. At this point, he might be happy to take this to an extra end with his hammer. Try to keep things open. And score a single to send himself to the final.
I still think he's got to make a really good one to get second shot here, because right now the promotion for Schwaller for that yellow-red is really easy. So
I do agree with you on that.
I think either way, Schwaller's going to have a shot for the win. Are they looking just to pick it off the button here?
I think that was the call yet when Andrew had brought it up.
Okay. Oh, well, he was on fire last end throwing the run back, so why not throw it again?
Huge shot upcoming from Korey Dropkin. His life in the Western Showdown is on the line. Number 12 in the world, number 1 in the United States. Looking to stay alive here in Swift Current before heading off to Saskatoon later this week for the Grand Slam of Curling. Here it is, Korey Dropkin. Last rock, 8th end, without the hammer, but leads by 1. Looking to make an angle run here to pick this shot rock off the pin and sit 1. Needs some curl here. This is Fenner looking for the curl. And he'll knock it right on top of it. Sit right there for shot rock 1 and 2.
Wow. Korey Dropkin stays hot.
It has been an incredible past 2 ends for Korey Dropkin. He has kept this team in this game and might have just won it there.
Well, the yellow, red, yellow looks not too difficult for somebody like Benoit Schwartz, but in this end, we have seen some misses and we've seen some great shots, so you never know what can happen.
658 people just witnessed that shot from Korey Dropkin. Now Benoit needs to make something to score his single. Or
Is there
Schwaller
enough room there
will be
for the
eliminated.
double in the win?
It's so tight.
Really tight, especially from the left hack. But I don't think you have enough of that yellow on the intern left-hand side there.
I think you can get almost like just off nose, but I don't think you get there anywhere to make the double.
No, like you don't have enough room to
and you can't throw enough
Take
weight.
it for 2. Yeah.
Evan Johnson says, "On fuego." Teresa says, "What a shot." Megan Edwards is in awe after that shot made by Korey Dropkin. He's done a lot to get his team back in this game here. So here comes the 4th rock thrower.
Seems like he's lining up the double here.
This is a big opportunity. And a big risk as well. Here it comes. Benoit Schwartz, last rock, 8th end with the hammer, trails by 1. Needs at least a single to force this game into an extra end. It's Lashaw on the sweep. He's hard on it now.
Sounds pretty close.
Curling now. And they'll make the double for 2.
Wow. What a
and
shot.
It's going to go down as a 5-4 win for Yannick Schwaller and the team out of the Geneva Curling Club. Make the final 5-4 over Korey Dropkin. And what a valiant effort by the Dropkin team to stay alive in this game. But it wasn't enough in the end. What a shot by Benoit Schwartz.
That was some top-tier curling.
To take the victory. Tim says, "What a game." Happy to call it for you guys. Final goes down 5-4 for Yannick Schwaller. They'll make their way to the final starting at 4 p.m. local time here at the Western Showdown.
We feed the world with Nutrien, and a large portion of what our job is to get fertilizer out with the carriers so they can get directed to the farms or to the different retail locations. We know that if we don't have the answer to something, we're not afraid to reach out because we have support from everyone. We've got a really good team behind us.
SaskTel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? SaskTel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.